when I started out editing, I didn't even have a niche. Like, obviously, when everybody starts out, you don't really pick a niche. You just sort of, you know, you just sort of take whatever you can, and then like over time, eventually you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be a bit more picky with my work. I'm gonna take on this client, or I'm gonna take these clients instead because this is my kind of wave. And I never really cared. I was just like, even when I could pick my clients, I still didn't really care about the niche because I wasn't too knowledgeable. I was like, why does niche matter, right? That's what we should really be asking ourselves. Why does it matter, right? Well, people seem to think that niches will pay more. Okay, so let's say they pay more. Why do they pay more? Like, we just seriously need to start asking questions more. I think people just need to start asking questions more, and they don't. So people say that, okay, certain niches pay more. All right, so let's say, for example, finance, because I have a story based on finance, and a lot of people seem to say that finance pays more. So I'm like, okay, finance pays more. How? How does that pay more, right? Oh, well then, it's because of the CPM. Okay, so I'm going to write down CPM. Now, before we go any further, let me explain to you what CPM is, and let me give you like a bit of a backstory to this. CPM means cost per mil, right? Cost per mil. So that doesn't mean that's not mil as in million. That's mil as in Latin for thousand. So for every 1,000 views, you get paid X amount of money. So let's say I'm a YouTuber and I get paid $10 I have $10 CPM, right? Meaning I get paid $10 per 1,000 views. And let's say I make a video and the video gets 10,000 views. Okay. Well, then we're going to do 10 times 10, $100, right? So 10 CPM times 10,000 views, 10K. So it's not even going to be 10K because we take away the per mil, which is per thousand, and we take away the 1,000 here. You just do 10 times 10, and then your calculation is that you get $100 for that video. All right. Like, I'll give you another example. I have a $5 CPM. Okay, meaning I get paid $5 for every 1,000 people that watch my videos, right? Okay, so then we do, let's say I make another video and I get 30,000 views. 30,000 views, okay? Well, that's $5 for every 1,000, so we're just going to take away the 1,000, and now it's just 5 times 30. I'm getting paid $150, right? Okay, so people say that finance gets paid the highest, and there was this time where before there was like there wasn't really as much entrepreneurship content, not a lot of finance content. There was also less editors. Finance niche was like skyrocketing in CPM. Like there was not a lot of it, so anybody who did would get paid the most. They had a crazy high CPM. So there were these editors in a big group chat. Like one of them was saying like, which niche should I work in, guys? Someone's like, you should work in the finance, it pays the most. And he's like, really? Yeah, it pays like, they have like crazy high CPM rates. I can't remember what it was, but they were like, yeah, he has crazy CPM. So he was like, okay, I should do that. And looking back on it, I remember reading that chat and thinking, okay, I'm going to listen to this. But the only reason why I listened to it was because these were just editors who had more experience than me. And I don't remember if anybody answered. I don't really remember. But if I saw that now, I'd say that's not how it works. Really. If we drew a correlation chart, right? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I had to search up what a correlation chart looked like because it's been so long. But yeah, I got it right. It's essentially this. So, but we don't really need one. I don't really need to like show you what a correlation chart looks like if I want to explain to you this next point. I've heard a lot of theories about. Let me move myself here. I've heard a lot of theories about how CPM works and how editors get paid more, and a lot of them are cope answers. Like in hindsight, a lot of these are cope answers. So for example, like with CPM, just because a creator gets paid more doesn't mean that you get paid more. Like the creator's earnings is made through CPM. Okay? That has zero correlation with you, right? That is not that doesn't go directly into your pocket. That goes directly into their pocket, right? But they will decide what the price is, okay? So it's not up to the YouTube, it's not up to their YouTube ad revenue. It's not up to YouTube themselves. It's up to the client. Okay? I've even seen stuff like pick your audience right. Like the audience matters because there's going to be niches that get more views, okay? And also when you have royalty deals, say for example you work with entrepreneurs, okay? So you're working with an entrepreneur client and people say, okay, well, what if I get paid in commission? Like not just like commission per video, but let's say I'm editing a VSL or I'm editing an ad for somebody, okay? And the client says, okay, if you just the more sales I get from this, I'll pay you a certain amount. So then people say, okay, I can get paid more by taking on different deals. Like I can get paid by saying like, okay, I'll give you $10 for every like 100 people that join or something like that. And people say, like, okay, that's gonna work. Or like $1 for every single person that joins up, right? So let's say they're selling a product or they're selling something on an ad, and then they sell 100, they get 100 sales, and then you get 10% of that, right? So then, oh, not 10%, sorry, you get 10, you now get $100 because you made 100 sales, right? So people are going to say, okay, this is good. So if CPM doesn't work, if that's not how it works, if I don't get paid because the creator gets paid, more, then I can convince the creator to pay me more if he gives me, let's say, $300 for editing this ad, and then like plus the $100 for getting the sales, right? So then, then I can say that I got $400, right? Because remember, let me just write it over here, or actually, I guess I could just move it here, right? So remember, because you got 100 sales, you get paid $100 because the agreement was $1 per every single person that you hire, like that you every 100 person, let's just say that you bag, right? Every person that you bag, you get $100 before. So he gets 100 sales, you get $1 commission for every single person, you get $400 total on top of the 300 flat rate that you guys agreed to. Okay, I could see that. That's, that 400 is definitely better than 300 flat rate, right? That's not a bad idea, right? But again, this isn't the creator that you're convincing. You're convincing them to give you an extra bit of money, but this is depending on the audience, right? The audience does not matter. So then, like, what now? How can I raise my prices if the niche doesn't matter? If the niche doesn't matter, the viewers don't matter. What the hell matters? It's up to you. Like, not even just like it's up to you. It is you, right? Okay. Now, I don't want to seem like I don't want to get to that part of the video where I start screaming my head off and I start going insane. But it is literally just you, right? Oh, it is you, right? Like, let me just underline that a few times, right? It is you. And let me explain how. So, CPM goes into the client's pocket. So CPM goes into the client's pocket. The views, so like let's just write views real quick. The views goes into the client's pocket as well, and then 1% of that, and then 1%. Oh, how do you draw a percent? 1% of that will then go to you. Let's just put $Y. So dollar clients. Let's just draw a big circle around this so people know. At least I know what I'm talking about. So then CPM goes into the client's pocket, and then they decide what to pay you. The views will go into the client's pocket. So like the audience, let's just write audience instead of just views, okay? Because that sounds like a statistic. So the audience, like, depending on who the audience is and how much they're willing to, I don't know, pay for whatever the client is, you know, doing, selling, I mean, that also goes into the client's pocket, but then he gives you like 1% or 10, like even 10% you'd be lucky to get, right? And that goes into that 1% or 10% goes into your pocket, right? So you can get $100 if you land 100 people. Do you know how much 100 people is? Like, let's think about it this way. Let's say, like, let me just genuinely put this into perspective of why this may not work, because just in case this looks like too good of a deal. Let's say your client has 30,000 followers, right? He tells you to make, like, edit an Instagram ad. You're like, okay, cool. And then he gets let's say he gets 50% of his people, and this is pushing it, by the way. Like, let's say we have 50% of his viewers or audience watching. So then we times that by 50%, and we get 15,000 views, right? Let me actually write it properly instead of just K. Right? So 15,000 views. Right? 15,000 views. So he gets 15,000 views on this ad that he told you to edit. So you get the 300, remember? Let's just remember that you get the 300. And then from this 15,000 views, he gets a... Let's be generous. I shit you not, let's be generous. Let's say you get 2% conversion rate. Yeah? 2% conversion rate. So then, if I just do 15, 1, 2, 3 times 0.02, 300. Okay? Then you get, that's 300 sales, right? 300 sales. Okay? And let's say for every sale you make, he gives you $1. Okay. How do I do this? Okay, yeah. He gives you $1. So it's literally just like times by 1, 300. So nice. Now we have 300 plus 300. So 600. So this is more than the example I gave you, right? 600. Okay? That's pretty generous, right? But this is like if all goes basically perfect, right? This is if all, like, 50% of his people's viewership, like, that's pretty rare. Like, that is pretty rare for half of your viewer base to be watching your videos. And then to land 2%, 2% conversion rate, that's 300. That's pretty good, right? $600, double than what you made before, right? And that's a big if, right? That's a big if. So how the hell did we scale from this, right? How can we go from this to like 1K or like 2K per video, right? Let's not even just write K at this point. I'm going to straight up say it. How do we go from $600 to $1,000 or $2,000 per video, right? Well, it's not going to be by this, right? Because this is up to the audience. If the audience is feeling nice and says, okay, I'm gonna nice them on this, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy whatever product this is, right? This isn't up to you. This isn't stable, right? We're looking for stable. This is stable income, right? Stable way to make your money, okay? And it's not gonna be through like niches. Niches don't matter, okay? We've already established that the CPM has no effect on you. There's zero correlation, right? If we were to draw graphs, it would be like this, right? It would be like this. It has no correlation, okay? If I were to do this and say like, this is for the what's it called? Let's just put views and then let's put like CPM. Just it like zero correlation. it is literally just up to you. Where did I put you? Oh yeah, you. It is literally up to you, okay? And how does that work? So, when you're editing for entrepreneurs, I shit you not, I speak to entrepreneurs, right? They look to pay no more than like 1K per month. 1K per month, right? If you're lucky, maybe like 3K per month. Depending on what you're editing. Like if you're editing shorts, especially shorts, it's mostly just dirty work, right? And that's not to expose entrepreneurs. That's just because it's like there's no skill demanded, right? It's simply just, oh, can you do quantity, not quality, right? So when there's more skill demanded, let's actually put this all the way over here because this is really important. When there's skill demand coming from them, coming from you, when there's more skill demanded from you and your skill set, that's when you get paid more, right? Skill demand. So, if I say edit me 30 regular shorts, and you say, okay, my price is 10K per month, I'm going to say no because I can find somebody else that can do this. If it's literally just like simple cutting and subtitling, I can get somebody else to do that, right? There's a lot more supply than there is demand because there's no skill demand from basic marketing shorts, right? There's no demand. So what we need to do is we need to offer skill that's so high up in the chain of editors that people can't find it anywhere else, right? So the higher the skill demand, how do I draw this out? So the higher the skill demand, the more that you can charge. I'm thinking of like a way to draw this on a graph, but I think I'm done with graphs really. So if there's 1,000 editors, and I'm paying you, and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna pay you guys I'm gonna pay one of you, one person out of all of you, right? 1K per month. If somebody says no, I want 5K per month, you're gonna be ruled out. Like, I hate to break it to you, you're gonna be ruled out because this number goes from 1,000 to 999, and quite frankly, the client will not care. Like, he doesn't know you. It's not like Drake just blocked him or like unfollowed him. Like, no one cares. You're not Drake, bro. I hate to break it to you, you're not Drake. Okay, and this even goes for me. Like, if I went for a low skill demand job and I demanded like high money, I'm gonna get the same treatment. It doesn't matter who you are. If there's low skill demand, but you're demanding a higher amount of money, well, there's no warrant. There's like, you know, what warrants you to do that? What allows you to do that? Like, there's this sort of like green light that you're usually given, and that green light is just from the skill demand. So when I say, can you edit me this 2-hour video, and I want Mr. Beast editing, like Mr. Beast level editing, right? And you can do it, and then you say, okay, I can do that for you, but I need you to pay me 10K for the entire video. I'm like, okay, you seem to be the only person down for that. You seem to be the only person who can actually do it. I've seen your work. I will do it. Because there's more skill demand. Who the hell can edit Mr. Beast level editing except for Mr. Beast editors? Right? If someone can do it and doesn't work for Mr. Beast, and they're willing to put in that man hour for an entire 2-hour video, coming from like 50 hours of footage, 100 hours of footage, there's not really much I can do. I can either say no and spend months for finding a new editor or wait for him to be available again, or I just say yes to the 10K. Because there's not a lot of supply. Like, it is kind of like supply and demand now that I'm like thinking about it, right? So when there's low demand, you can't ask for more. You don't really have that you don't have that green light to say, okay, I want more money. No matter who you are. It doesn't matter about your branding, it doesn't matter about, you know, your name, your client list. because ultimately, if I have a budget of $1,000, that's not gonna change just because you have 5,000 followers on Twitter or 2,000 followers on Twitter, right? Point is, my plans haven't changed. This is my budget, and if you say no, like, the world does not stop moving, bro. I hate to break it to you. Okay, so CPM. So the clients pay the amount of money that the client makes, right? This doesn't matter. This doesn't make you more money. It makes them more money, but that doesn't mean that it feeds you and your family. Okay? If you try to do on sale commission, like every single person that you manage to get to buy the product, right? That also pays into the clients. He can give you a slice of the cake, sure, but this will depend on, this is pay on results basis. This is risky. There's a lot of people that ask for pay on results and then don't get the results, and they're like, okay, can I get paid now? And you're like, well, no, you didn't get the results. And he's like, oh, but I worked so hard on this, right? It's not stable. Don't be one of those people, because chances are that's going to be you like 8 times out of 10. But if there's more skill demand, if I demand more from you, I'm going to pay you more, right? So think about it, it's like this. Even if it's not skill demand, right? Even if I'm just demanding more, I'm going to pay you more. So let's say I'm your clients, and I say, okay, we usually have 1 hour videos. We have 1 hour footage. So footage. And I want you to cut it down to 10 minutes. And then the usual pay is, for just math's sakes, like $100. Cool. If I give you, if the work is a bit harder to do, if I say, okay, we have two hours of footage, right? And I want you to cut it down into 15 minutes. I'm gonna be like, okay, there's more work here. It's $100. I don't feel quite fair paying him $100 for doing more work. So I'm gonna nice him a bit. How about I just pay you 200, like 250? So again, this isn't even skill at this point. It's just demand, just general demand. Like, I'm demanding you to take out more time of your life to work for me. Therefore, I'm gonna pay you more. It's demand, right? But you can get to a point where you can demand more, regardless of how long it is, or how much they want the video to be, or whatever the conditions are. And this exists because, like, chances are you've scaled your prices before. You've raised your prices at some point to a client. You said, okay, I want more money now, and they're like, okay, you've proved your worth. Or you've reached out to a new client and charged more money, and they said yes. So there's proof of improvement. You've improved in your editing, and that this skill demand is real. So then why, if there's actual proof, if you've actually gone through the experience of improving your videos, and then saying, okay, this works, so then how do I improve my prices now? It doesn't change. Like, the system doesn't change. Don't go look for like random answers and say, okay, how about I just start focusing on the CPM, right? How about I just start focusing on this? How about I start focusing on the niche? Because niches pay different CPMs, right? So maybe I shouldn't do gaming. Maybe I should do finance, because finance is a higher CPM, right? Well, that's not money that goes into your pocket. That's money that goes into your client's pocket, right? Yeah. Like, no matter what deal you try to cut out with them, even if you say, like, okay, I'm gonna, like, even if you start starting to do extra stuff, like thumbnail designs, right? If you say, like, okay, I'll do your thumbnails as well, that's just extra work, right? That's just extra work you're giving yourself. There's no need for that. And more time, okay? So this is just the demand of more time, and you don't have a lot of time, right? Therefore, leveraging your time is not a good idea. If it takes you 10 hours to edit a video, 10 hours, why would you spend an extra 3 hours doing the thumbnail? That's just annoying, right? Why would you do that to yourself? Like, Like, not to be aggressive, not to be a dick, but like, why would you, seriously, like, I don't see the logic in that. This is demanding time. And time can't be leveraged because everybody has 24 hours in a day, and realistically, we want to make more money by working less. That's the dream for everyone, right? So let's leverage something else instead of that. Instead of leveraging time, let's try and go for something that has a bit more, something that's a bit more stable, right? So our skill can be skill. We can get better at editing, right? We can change our skill. We can get better at editing, and then we can leverage that. So then, when we start to show off our skill, aka posting on Twitter, aka posting to our portfolio, right? When we start showing off that we're better, that when we start showing off that we have more skill in our editing, we can now leverage that, because better creators are going to come to us. We're going to say, okay, hello editor, I would like to hire you, and because I'm hiring you and I am bigger than your other clients, I am going to pay you more because I'm going to ask you to make better work than you did before. Well, they obviously wouldn't say it like that, but you get the gist, right? Like, the reason bigger creators start coming to you is because they see your work, they see your potential, and they're like, okay, now make something even better for me. And you're like, okay, I can make something better for you. And they're like, okay, good. And in compensation for doing better than last time, here's a shit ton more money. That's quite literally how it works. Like, this is just quite literally how it works. And you don't want to leverage the dependency of the audience. Where is it? You don't want to leverage the dependency of the audience. You don't want to leverage the dependency of the niche. You want to be leveraging the most secure and most stable thing there is. Like, the most reliant thing there is. The one thing you should be able to rely on most are things in your control. Which is, where is it? There, you. It should be you, right? You're the most reliable thing that you can leverage. So don't start relying on deals that you make. Don't start relying on the niche that you edit in. Don't start relying on the audience to pay you more. Start relying on yourself. And yourself can start improving. Okay? Let's draw like these arrows that like say like you go up in skill and stuff, right? So like, you know, Start improving. Start getting better at editing. Leverage that, so that way you can still take 10 hours on a video. Or hell, like if you get better and if you start getting into the gist of things, it's gonna start going down. Let's say like it takes 6 hours now. Cool. So I've gotten better at editing. I've literally gotten better at editing. I've gotten faster at editing, and my prices have gone from like 300 to now like 600. And it's taking me not as long to edit anymore, right? It's not taking me as long to edit anymore, right? Like, it doesn't even have to be like 300 or 600. Hell, you could say my prices were $10 before and now they're 50, right? It can be whatever. But the point is like, if you're more skilled, then you're separating yourself from that dead weight area of editors, right? Like, you're just simply like, how do I explain this? The best editors can do what every beginner editor can do, but the beginner editors can't do what the best can do, right? That just simply means that there's that when the better editors get approached, that demand would obviously mean, okay, there's less options of editors to go for here, okay? So then I'm probably better off just paying this guy instead of saying, yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna look for somebody else. I don't know how many times I have to like say the same thing over and over again, but like, the less people there are that can do what you do, the more you can leverage. Simple as that. So if there's 3 editors that can do what I do, I can charge, maybe not whatever, but I can definitely charge more. If I can do something that no other editors can do, not a single editor. For example, if I edit in a way, if I have cool editing style that a client wants, but nobody else can do that. Nobody else can do that. That means that I can now leverage the shit out of this price. He's either going to have to look for somebody else to pay them almost nothing, which is cool, but they won't get what they wanted, right? Or they can suck it up and pay the price that I tell them. which will be whatever I want it to now, right? And obviously they probably have their budgets. I'm not going to go overboard. I'm going to find something reasonable. But at the end of the day, if nobody else can do what I do, I have more freedom to charge more prices. That's called leverage, right? You can do more. You can do what you want more because you have something that others don't, right? You have something. You simply just have something. Use that, right? So the answer to your question, which niche should I edit in? It doesn't matter what niche you edit in. You can edit in gaming. You can edit in finance. You can edit IRL. You can do stream highlights. You can do, give me another one. You could work for like Mark Rober, whatever he does. You could work for like literally any creator. But if they're demanding more skill out of you, let's like put this in green real quick. Right? If they're demanding more skill from you, then you just get paid more. And if like not as many people can do what you do, then yeah, cool. And that's kind of what skill means. Like the more skilled you are, the less people can do what you do, right? It's I don't know, pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. Good luck. Goodbye, man. And like one more thing, I was just gonna like end this, but like one more thing is like, okay, we said so like that the niche doesn't matter and you can make money by just increasing your skill. If you want to increase your skill just as fast as possible, then pick what you want to do. Just pick, I shit you not, the niche you pick is something you should have fun with. If you love learning about money, if you want to work for like a finance creator, then cool, that's cool. Okay. But in order to do that, you're going to have to find somebody who's willing to pay you like shit tons. If you want to make more money from editing, right? And I wouldn't recommend that. And here's why. Here's exactly why the finance niche, I want to break down specifically the finance niche does not make the most, and here's why. Because entrepreneurs, oh, that's the wrong pen. Entrepreneurs like to hire editors for the sake of pushing their marketing. So they want to promote their product. Cool. So they have a product. Let's just like draw a box. Cool. This is our box. Right? This is the product. They want to push this out to everybody, right? And they're going to use you to do that. They're going to say, okay, here you go, here's some money, right? So, like I said earlier, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this situation. And then it's like, okay, okay, that's fine. Then I'll pick somebody who wants to make like good videos. But then think about it, like who does, right? There's like a handful of finance creators who do it for the sake of actually being a creator, right? They all do it because their main income is this product. This is their income. You got to realize that. Their income is from whatever they're selling, okay? Which is cool, but for you, that's a problem. Because if this is making the money, then, you know, why should it matter what you can do, right? So then, who do I work for then if I'm not going to work in finance? Literally anybody who's a creator, right? And the reason why creators are more important is because the soul, like in the way that entrepreneurs, right? Let's write it actually here. The way entrepreneurs make their money from their income, I mean from their products that they sell, creators make their money from the videos they make, right? Sounds silly, but like think about it. They rely on YouTube for their money. Okay, so if they want to get more views, they want to get more subscribers, they want, you know, higher retention so people can watch more of the ads. They have to get an editor skilled enough, right? They're looking for skill in an editor. Like their income relies on this, not on some product. Like if an entrepreneur makes a video and it doesn't get all the views in the world, if it doesn't get a lot of views, it's not the end of the world for them, because they still have this going for them. They have something else making them more money. But creators, they don't have that. They have only the videos. They only know YouTube. They don't care about marketing, and they don't care about funnels, and they don't care about, you know, how they create their product, and you know, their customers. They just have an audience they want to entertain, right? So they learn about YouTube, they learn about editing, and they realize the importance in editors. That's the thing, but that's the difference between creators and entrepreneurs. Creators realize the importance in editors. These guys, they just want somebody who can edit 1,000 shorts, or like, what was it, like 30 shorts per month or something. And then if you say I want more than 1K, then they're gonna go like, okay, you can leave, I don't really care, right? Because they just want somebody who can do like regular stuff. Anybody can do regular stuff, right? Anyone could just cut up the videos, right? Anyone can do that. So they're gonna look for somebody else. They don't really care. It's like you guys. It's like editors grow on trees for them, right? But creators, they realize the skill. They look for skill, right? Literally, they look for skill because they don't want their channel to die. They want to grow. They want to make more money from the videos. And the only way they can do that is by hiring an editor who's skilled enough to push their videos, to grow their brand, right? Therefore, they are demanding more skill, and when they demand more skill, they're willing to pay more money. I'm not saying you're going to get paid 10K, but you know, this was just for this example. But whatever your price is, by just looking at creators instead of entrepreneurs, you can make more money, right? Because the demand for skill is much higher, and if you focus on your skill, then do that, right? Me, I'm glad I found this path instead of going down entrepreneur, because I would have made a lot less money, right? I went for like gaming mostly, but to be honest, anybody who was on YouTube, I'd take, right? Anybody who's just willing to pay me the money and was on YouTube, I'd do. But gaming was the one that helped me. It didn't help me, but it had the most creative potential in my eyes. Like, it allowed me to do a lot of creative things, and like broadened my horizons when it came to creating new stuff all the time. Because in gaming, there's different things you can do in like different games and stuff like that, right? And different creators with different personalities. So that's the one that I went for most. That doesn't mean that you have to, but just anybody who's a creator, anybody whose main income is on YouTube, go for them. Because they know the importance in YouTube editing, right? They know the importance, therefore they want somebody who can help them with that. And if you have that, if you have what it takes to help somebody grow, they're willing to pay top dollar for that. If you could tell them, oh, I've done this with X, Y, Z. I've done this with 3 other clients. I've worked with them. They were just in your position. I can take you there. Hire me as your editor. They're like, okay, I'll do it. What's your price? You say whatever, and they'll pay for it. Because the point is, like, if you can do exactly what they're looking for, okay, which is push out their videos, then they'll do it. Okay. Now, you probably don't have that skill, but that's just fine. Like you don't have the skill to perfectly 100% of the time, you know, get people millions of views every single video, and that's fine. But the point is that people want their videos pushed out. They don't want their product sold, okay? Because that's a whole different story. You're just a pawn in a bigger game, which is, again, not a bad thing, but it doesn't mean that there's not a lot of room for you to scale there. Because if you want to scale, they say, okay, he wants a raise. No offense, mate, but we're not looking to pay it anymore, so we'll just find one of the other 999 people that applied for the job, right? But if there's only a handful of people that can have the skill that you have and carry out the creators, they're going to hire you to do so. Okay? They're going to hire you to do so. So, yeah. There's literally there's more demand for your skill. Not more demand for these creators. More demand for your skill. There's less demand for entrepreneurs. Skill demand, you know, entrepreneurs demand less skill. They don't really care. They just want you to do, I guess, the dirty work, as I'd say, and they are looking for you to do the magic work, right? So creators are definitely the way to be going, right? That's all you really need to know. The finance, sure, it makes them more money, but that has no correlation with you. That doesn't make you more money, right? The creators are in this full time. They're full-time creators. This is their job. Okay, they cannot fall off. They need somebody to help them push their videos out there. And if you have the skill to do that, they'll pay top dollar for it. Right? Done. Simple as that. But like when it comes to like the actual niches, I swear to God it doesn't matter. If you just improve, just focus on improving. And like it's not the sexy answer, but like what do you want from me? Like I'm not gonna give you like the top 10 AI tools that get you from like 0 to 10K in a month. Can't like don't be lazy, bro. Like if you want to make 10K per month, or if you want to make like more money from editing, you're gonna have to do the work, and that's just it, right? If you don't like that, you don't like that. That's tough, but all you have to do is just, you know, scale up your skill, get better at editing, like start working for creators, not entrepreneurs, and blah, yada yada. Okay, thank you, goodbye.